Many thanks for your company. Welcome back to the marketplace. President of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obeng, has cautioned against the likely depreciation of the proposed common currency, the ECU, considering the size of the economy of some member countries. His call comes at the time when Ghana is getting ready to join other West African countries to use the ECU this year. Considering the current trade volumes among member states and issues bordering on the closure of the Nigerian-Benin border, now Dr. Joseph Obeng fears the use of a common currency in West Africa could suffer, leading to depreciation.
There should be a caution here. If we have to adopt a single currency, then of course we have to have an effective monitoring or supervisory system in place that will make sure that, because we have to respect the fiscal disciplines and all that among the nations and all that. If we look at a country like Nigeria, the total GDP of about 67% of the entire GDP of the sub-region. If we do not take care, it doesn't strike a good balance. It means that that country, if one particular country have a problem at a time, or they take unilateral decision or do something untoward, then it affects the bulk of the entire sovereign currency and all that. But we'll be able to achieve if we have a very strong monitoring system. Yeah, if you look at how the ECOWAS protocol, the commission and all that is behaving towards the ECOWAS protocol and all that, then you cannot have the actual confidence if that same attitude is transferred into the monitoring of this ECO or the single currency. So that's my only fear and my caution, that we should be able, before we adopt and order, bring everybody on board, we should make sure that the supervisory system, whichever structure it is, should be firm up.
Well, so by the close of this year, member countries, including Nigeria, Liberia, and Ghana, could be swapping their currencies for a new one, the ECU. This is expected to boost economic development and enhance cross-border trading. We just heard the concerns of GUTA, but also we want to know what the Association of Ghana Industries thinks about the ECU and how it will impact businesses and international trading. I have with me here in studio the Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the AGI, in the person of Tonam Akpelu, to share his thoughts on the use of a single currency for ECOWAS members. You're welcome to the studio, Mr. Apenu.
Thank you very much for having me.
No, so very soon we're going to have a single currency in place. Now, there are some concerns. People think that we are not ready. But in all, what do you think about the introduction of this new currency? How is it going to impact businesses?
Okay, thank you again for having me. So to begin with, for us in AGI, we believe it's actually long overdue.
Okay.
Common currency regime has always presented some of the greatest opportunity to boost economic development and trade among between nations that adopt the currencies. So for us in AGI, we thought that this common currency conversation is long overdue. It is high time we have it. Number one, common currency will essentially reduce the cost of administration of exchanging currencies.
Okay.
What it means is that it will become more easy and cheaper to transact business, say, from Accra and Lagos, because you have to use the same currency now in the new regime and so on. So we believe it's a great thing. We're happy when we heard that it will happen this year. We're only praying that it actually happens, because we know that most of the countries in the West Africa sub-region are yet to still meet the convergent criteria,
exactly.
essentially.
Now, one other concern is that francophone member countries are agitating for the ECU to be pegged again. To be pegged against the euro. And do you think that this would also not pose any problems to businesses?
Yeah. Well, so in such a liberalized economic like the West Africa countries, if we need to do ECU, we cannot necessarily agree to what the French bloc says. What it means is that all of us, all the member countries, must sit down to decide what is best for the entire sub-region. Obviously, I don't imagine a country like Ghana agreeing to peg the ECO to, let's say, the CFA franc or the euro. It will have to happen in a much more democratic and it should be backed by a more solid economic argument as opposed to a political decision.
So then which currency do you think that we should, line up the ECO initially?
I believe that we should have our own monetary and financial arrangement to support it, because you have to be very careful in doing these things. The economies are not same in West Africa. Some of the economies are bigger. There are several criteria that are considered for this thing to happen. It's not merely just pegging. Those are political decisions. But currency is essentially economic, because immediately you agree to adopt single currency, meaning you are actually relinquishing that monetary policy power to a centralized body like the West African Central Bank. What it makes is that your local country has lost the power entirely to use monetary policy to affect any economic activity.
Okay.
So, for example, if you have massive unemployment in Nigeria, and then for whichever reason the Nigerian financial managers realize that they need to use monetary policy, but immediately you have ECO, you can't do that because you've given that power to the centralized monetary policy authority.
Which means there will definitely be a central bank.
Yes, of West Africa. Let's say Ghana Central Bank could be a member. So we would have lose our power. So things like solving economic problem like issues of unemployment, where you probably want to reduce money, increase money supply to make more loanable funds available for industry to be expanded and so on, so you can create more jobs, it will be taken away. The case that a classic example is what happened in Greece. In Greece, where they at the peak of the economic crisis, Greece was unable to use monetary policy to affect their economy because now they're under euro. And so they were limited. They couldn't expand exports, etc. So I'm saying that it is very important to make sure that all the countries are on the same page, i.e. they've all been able to meet the convergence criteria, etc.
Now, your sister association, GUTA, is raising concerns with depreciation of the currency. Now, you realize that the cedi has really depreciated badly over time. Now, do you think that the introduction of this new currency would throw in a magic wand to help reduce the level of depreciation?
Well, this is a good question, because number one, immediately you introduce ECO, it means that different countries in West Africa would then use the economy to back the ECO currency. So obviously, it will be better in terms of depreciation, because the economy of Nigeria, economy of Ghana, etc., would all come together to support this currency. However, it's not sufficient. In fact, depreciation of currency is essentially being solved by expanding export. By boosting your local industry. That's what AG has been calling for all this while. Make sure that you expand your exportable products in order to have more robust economy and have more dollars rather coming to the economy rather than going down. So it's not as simple as having a currency issue. It's actually about having a more robust export space in order to achieve that.
Many thanks for your input, Mr. Chonam Apelu. And unfortunately, we have to bring down draw down the curtains on today's edition of the Marketplace for now, because we are crossing over to the Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences, where the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, is holding a public forum on the topic, does Ghana really need a new voter register? So let's cross over now and catch a glimpse of the event.